They're gonna know it's a real conversation with a Fago, Mr. Crosby.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Man, guess what? Y'all can get ready because this conversation right here is about to be Fago ready, baby. We got the Fagos right here, and all y'all that know about Fago, we done been to all these. Listen, we are right here at Rogers High School for the Legends Classic Weekend with some of the iconic, great basketball players out of Toledo that hit the country, that hit the world from the highest level to the neighborhoods. And this next person, y'all can already tell. If I take my hat off, we look like uncle and nephew. I got the legendary Toledo's own DeVille-Miss, Terry Crosby. What's up, Mr. Terry Crosby?
Hey, say, man, how you doing?
Man.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm so appreciative of being here, man. I am. Thank you very much.
Man, thank you, Terry. And I know you're not short to no interviews, but I do want to just to kind of give a framework of what this is. Mr. Terry Crosby, we are at the Legends Classic Weekend right here at Rogers High School. I'm going to start off because once we get to flowing, we're flowing. What does that say? What energy do you get when you hear Mick Earl and his team and City League and TPS is now saying we're going to kick off this Legends Classic Weekend to honoring our historic, our greats like yourself, and moving into the future and the present with some of our basketball? What does that say to you?
You know what, Montrese, it's such a wonderful feeling, man. And what it really says to me is that I so appreciate you guys putting this on. It's absolutely fantastic. And I think it's so inspiring for me. It really, really is because, you know, we've had our day, okay? We've had our day. And now it's time for us to do whatever we can do to support and encourage these next generation of ballers coming up. So to put all of us in the same building, under the same roof, you know, and watch these young kids run up and down the court, and we're there to give some advice, to introduce ourselves, let them know a little bit about what we did, because I have to remind them,
Yes, sir.
you know what I mean, some of my achievements when I was playing, you know,
Do you
because
get
they don't know.
Do you get frustrated when they don't? So you know what you know, when you know what you don't know.
Right.
Do you get frustrated sometimes when you have to remind families and individuals about who Terry Crosby is? What is that? Does that frustrate you sometimes?
Not at all, not at all, because it's generational, okay? And
Wow.
I can't expect these kids over the last couple of generations to know anything about me. You know, if you ain't 50 years old, you probably never heard of no Terry Crosby. Furthermore, you probably don't care. But the thing with my personality and the things that I've achieved in life, you ain't got to know, because I'm going to let you know.
Absolutely.
Because I'm proud about it.
Absolutely.
You know? These are life achievements.
And one of the things that, of course, I didn't play basketball, but I played football.
Right.
But I heard about you, and this, as you talk about some of your accomplishments, and we're going to get talking about that in basketball. But Terry, it's a lot of folks from the neighborhood and community that talk about how good you was in football and your brothers.
Right.
They talk about how good the family was. So what was football transitioning to basketball like? But, you know, when we have real conversations, we want to know where you're from, what part of the neighborhood you grew up in.
Well, I grew up on the west side of Toledo.
What's the west side? 'Cause that's big.
I mean, that's Bancroft and Upton, right?
Okay.
Around that area, you know, Calumet, Joffrey,
Uh-oh.
Parkdale, you know, and I'm proud of it. I went to Nathan Hill Elementary.
D. Nathan Hill.
The Nathan Hill, right? And, you know, there's a guy called Mel Gaines. He was one of the greatest two-sport or trouble sport athlete that's ever originated from the city of Toledo. So I was like his flunky boy back in
Okay,
the day. When
okay.
he went to DeRose High School.
Okay.
They had tour days. I ride my bike up there. I'm in the 6th, 7th grade. He was just phenomenal. Wasn't big. You probably heard of him.
I have.
You know, 5'9", with 160 pounds, but was bow-legged like this, right? And he was just a tremendous athlete. We used to play pom-pom back in the day.
What is that?
Okay, so everybody, you run around on the playground, right?
Okay.
Nathan Hale had a big playground, right?
All right.
And if somebody could put 2 hands on you, then you was out.
Oh,
Then
wow.
you would chase everybody else.
So what we call a tap, y'all call
Yeah,
a pom-pom.
on a pom-pom, right? It'd be 10 of us, man, and just male. And you could put 10 hands on this guy.
Wow.
He was that elusive, right? He could run as fast backwards as he could forward.
From the neighborhood.
From the neighborhood, lived on Parkdale. Absolutely.
And so when you talk about that, Mr. Crosby, what did that do for your football before we even get to talking about basketball? Because the basketball speaks for itself, and they can Google you to get that,
Right.
and we'll talk about that. But people talk about how good you was in football. So what did it do for your football game, and how tough was it for you to leave football alone and then go to basketball?
People don't tend to realize back in the day when we woke up and our parents said, okay, after you do your chores, you can go outside and play. Because we had work to do first. It wasn't just waking up like these kids these
Yes,
days.
sir.
I'm going to do this. No, you got to take the garbage out, feed the dog. You got to mop and wash the kitchen floor.
Clean the bathroom.
Right. Then you can go out. But every day we just played naturally whatever we were playing. And some days, you know, we kick off, play baseball. Then we play tackle football in the street on concrete.
Down Upton?
The Grand, Upton.
Oh, yeah, y'all get it on Grand.
Right. You got a little Grand
Yeah.
inside, but most of it's road, right?
Yeah.
But it all counts, right? So we playing, this ain't tackle football, this is tackle football, right?
Okay.
So you better not get slammed, because like, that's gonna hurt.
Yes, sir.
So that added a lot to my usefulness back then.
So how did that translate to high school football and then going into basketball?
Yeah. So when you say how did you transition from one sport to the next, that was just natural. We all did that in the neighborhood.
Okay.
We just played all sports every day.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
1 minute we be shooting basketball, next minute we playing baseball, next minute we playing pom pom. So it's just natural.
What position did you play in football?
We ran the Houston Veer. You're not gonna believe this. We ran the Houston Veer. I was 6'4", right? And I'm so sad, my dream. I'm no longer 6'4".
Okay.
I'm 6'2" and 3/4, man. Can you believe I'm
Man, you
that
went
much?
down. You shrunk a little bit, but still to us, you still Terry Crosby.
Right.
And respect it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, so it's just natural.
So that you was talking about that offensive style that y'all ran at the Vilmas?
Yeah, the Houston Veer.
Okay.
Our coach, Coach Pittman, he was so innovative back at just way ahead of his time, right?
So what position was that?
Left halfback. I played left half. So you have the center, you have the quarterback.
Yeah.
You had the fullback closest to the quarterback.
Yeah.
You have me over here, left halfback, and then you have a right halfback.
Yes, sir.
I played left halfback at 6'4", 195 pounds in high school.
What kind of accolades did you get on the football field?
I broke a lot of records.
And we just gonna say that, huh? We
I
broke.
just, I broke up. The Super Bowl, my last ever high school football game against St. John's, out of UT Glasgow. I had 328 yards, 3 interceptions, 3 TDs, and we beat them 42-20. And a lot of people say I should have played football.
Did y'all hear the stats that he just said in that game? We ain't even talking about basketball. So you played in the Super Bowl. You put up numbers that still right now you ain't gonna get too many folks to do. Mr. Crosby, what happens with basketball? How did basketball come into play, or was you building up your basketball career just as your football career was building up?
The thing with that is a lot of people say to me, and this could be argumentative, but a lot of people say you should play football. You should play football. But when you realize that coming out of high school as a senior, you are a Street Smith first team All-American in both sports.
Whoa.
Okay. along with, all Ohio, along with, all city, along with all district, whatever, and two sports. So for me, to be honest with you, basketball's always been my favorite sport,
Okay.
right? And I realized even back then, it's levels to this, right?
Somebody said that earlier.
You can be good in high school, but you step up to college, there's another level. And, I've never been kind of like a soft type of guy.
No, not at all. Coming from Nathan Hale, we
Right.
are.
But I realized that, I wasn't trying to get up at that college level and compete. I'm sure I could have done it, but I chose the more the finesse game,
Okay.
basketball, rather than the rough and rugged college game. You know what I mean?
When you had a chance and you signed with your college, and I want you to let them know what college you went to, because I like the colors.
Yeah, so do I.
Coming now, it also kind of makes sense because of the high school that you went to,
Right.
and the colors not being. How did they come get you from Toledo? What was you doing when they came and got you, and where was you at in Toledo? Because we talk about these,
Right.
had these conversations on Toledo Grace and what they did.
Right.
But when we talk about us and really making it genuine and authentic, what was it like when they came and got you? And where was you at the time being recruited and making that decision?
You know what? My senior year, first of all, we were mentally strong and very mature as high school seniors. Okay, I don't know what it is, Montrese, but we were mentally strong back in the day, and really the publicity that I was getting, Farley Hill was getting, George Westside quarterback, a few others on our football, basketball teams. I really wasn't thinking about that. You know what I mean? And it was a thing where I just took it as it came. Okay, so I didn't really concentrate on who was recruiting me. There was over 100 D1 universities in football and at least 100 in basketball.
And these letters coming to you, they calling, they reaching out to
right,
you.
Right.
And at the time, y'all probably still had the phone that you had to turn on with your finger.
Oh yeah. We did.
Y'all had the dollar. So,
but you could only have 6 visits.
okay, so
Maximum.
what was your 6 visits?
Okay, I think I went to the University of Michigan.
Okay.
I went to Ohio State, which I should have stayed. I went to Tennessee, obviously. I can't quite remember the other 3.
But Michigan, Ohio State, and Tennessee
Yes.
was where you landed.
The top 3, but I ended up going to Tennessee, which, and I put it in my book, right? It's in my book. It wasn't really a good choice for me. Okay?
Tennessee wasn't?
No, because let me tell you why. Coming out of high school from this area, being an All-American, right, in 2 sports, I chose basketball, but I don't go to no D1 university, even back then, and sit the bench for 2 years. I sat the bench for 2 years at Tennessee.
Wow.
By Ernie Grenfell, All-Americans, Bernard King, but that's just 2 positions. You got other 3 positions, and they wanted to play the local boys. It's all political. They played the local boys from near the state of Tennessee that they recruited.
Wow.
Like my freshman year in Tennessee, some of the Tennessee fans were saying, who is this Crosby boy from Toledo, Ohio? If I had stayed in Ohio,
it would have been
Indiana, or Michigan, everybody knew who TC was.
So I'm glad you kind of shared that.
Yeah.
When you talk about,
I'm talking.
we know we've been recorded. We're going to cut that. When you talk about going to Tennessee and not playing, what was it like coming back home? Were you still being recognized as the Terry Crosby and Farley Bell? Was you still getting that type of accolade knowing that you wasn't even playing at that time? What was it like coming back to Toledo and you sitting the bench for 2 years being an All-American?
Absolutely. It didn't make no difference.
People still wanted.
People still respected me. My freshman year, coming back home, I ran a basketball camp free for the kids over there in the Nathan Hale area. The camp started at 10 for the little kids, free of charge. We would go to 12 o'clock at Nathan Hale, have lunch from 12 to 1, and then from 1 to 3, the adults would come in, your Truman Claters, your Corky Dumans, your Roy Terrys, your Chuck Washingtons, your DeBoes, right, Jimmy DeBoe, you know, all the old school boys, you know what I mean? And people don't know this. Jim Jackson, we used to let him run with the adults, and the afternoon session was up with us.
That's why Jim made it to the
Jim
NBA, because he was with y'all.
Jim was in this, I ain't saying all that.
It had a lot to do with the building. It was a brick in this building.
Right, he started with us, okay? And a lot of people don't know that. He was in the 7th grade, and then I came back my sophomore year and did the same thing. Jim was in the 8th grade. And I tell you, Jim Jackson held his own against us.
And that's why I'm so glad that you was willing to share what Toledo was like during that time. So you get a chance, set records and play, do what you do in Tennessee. And if you don't get the book or Google it, what happens afterwards? What does basketball look like once you're done in Tennessee?
Well, you know, I got drafted in the 3rd round for playing 2 years. You know, I scored over 1,000 points.
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
From Nathan Hill.
Right. I averaged 19.4 my junior year, 4th in the SEC in scoring. This is after sitting the bench for 2 years. I mean.
Oh, you was hot. You was ready.
I was mad, man. I was mad.
Everybody with it.
And it didn't make no difference. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama.
They getting that work.
I'm bringing it. Because I should have been giving y'all this 2 years prior, right? So, yeah.
So you get drafted.
Yeah, I get drafted in the 3rd round. And I get drafted by the Kings, man. And the Kings already got 6 guys. How am I going to make the team? I mean, really. They got Lucius Allen. They got Otis Burso. They got Phil Ford. They got Billy McKinney. They got Ernie Grunfield. 6 guys in a 12-man roster, right?
Okay.
So it's going to be hard.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, I made it through rookie camp. I made it through the top 25. I actually opened the regular season up with the Kansas City Kings on the team. And Cotton Fitzsimmons called me into his office after 4 days and said, he was a coach back then for Kansas City. So Crosby, man, we're gonna be so sorry, man. We'll have to let you go.
Yeah, you that story.
Yeah, but we want you to sign a reserve contract, which meant that back then I would get like 10, 15 grand a month. They was gonna pay for me to stay in a hotel or apartment, give me a Benz, little Benz to drive around. He said, just stay safe. These are his exact words, just stay safe. We're gonna fit you in the system. You know what I did?
What you do, Mr. Terry? Came back and got a girl pregnant in Toledo.
No. I said, God, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be on this team. And he turned around to me and said, Mr. Crosby, we understand that. We're trying to give you an opportunity so that we can fit you in the squad, right? And I agreed to it, all that. Next thing I know, I went in there. I left Kansas City and went back to Knoxville. Jack Madden, my agent at the time, was ringing around trying to find me. He couldn't find me. I knew they were looking for him, wouldn't answer the phone, and that's kind of like how that ended.
How they got into that space. When you had a chance, and again, thank you for sharing that piece of being able and stepping away from the game.
Right.
We've heard some of our other legends and the decision that they could look back at it would have changed their life for the rest of their life.
It impacts your life, countries. It does.